So I had a number of people reach out to me this week
Yeah.
asking me about Ohhh Claude. And I was wondering, like, were you gonna put something to like, did you figure out the whole Ohhh
Look,
Claude thing from last episode? For those of you that don't know, the last week's episode was called Ohhh Claude because we were
yes,
making fun of Anthropic's Claude a little bit.
that's right.
So what do
Yeah.
you think?
Well, I think I went back and I dug through the archives. I went Indiana Jones style, and I went into the Hollywood archives because that's just down the street from me. And so drove down there, got my pass, went into the Hollywood archives, and lo and behold, I found the old 1980s sitcom called Ohhh Claude, and it's perfect. And I dug it up,
No,
and
you
they let
didn't.
me. Yes, I did. And I went to the Hollywood archives and pulled it out, and I brought it back. I got a VHS tape of it, and basically had to transfer that into digital. And I did all the work. And yeah, it's in your dashboard. It's in your dashboard, ready to play if you want to play the intro to the 1980s sitcom called Ohhh Claude.
I have to tell you, I'm a little bit scared to play this.
It's
Okay.
great. It's
All right.
great.
Well, the listeners and the watchers will be the judge. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Whoa, 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 woo! There's toast in the air and socks on the floor. Dad's late again, can't find the door. Mom's on the phone, just keeping the peace, while Claude's in the kitchen, upgrading the geese. Oh, Claude, what have you done this time? You wired the oven and called it a rhyme. Oh, Claude, you're learning day by day about life and love and minimum wage. Sister's got dreams, brother's got schemes. Claude just wants to charge his beams. He's got a heart or something close, and tells bad jokes through a dial-up modem host. Oh, Claude, you're a handful of chrome, trying so hard to call this home. Oh, Claude, we wouldn't change a thing. You make our house hum, beep, and sing. Maybe he's not human, but he tries to be. He's the glitch that shows us family. Oh, Claude, you've stolen our hearts, even if you keep taking the car apart. Oh, Claude, it's a beautiful mess. You teach us love, whoa, and data access. Oh, Claude.
And now, for your listening pleasure, here's Polizzi and Rose, covering the week of media, marketing, and digital content news. Take it away, boys.
Well, hello, friends. Welcome to This Old Marketing, proudly brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. And I'm Robert Rose. And with me, as usual, is my pal, my colleague, and a guy that may or may not have been the guy to heist the Louvre, Mr. Joe Polizzi.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was good, right? It was really good.
So Claude has to charge his beans. I like that. That seemed a little bit too much like a Robert Rose line to me.
I filled it with my humor. I filled it with he's gonna reboot the geese.
Oh my God. I loved how the phone was plugged into the fried egg on the frying pan.
I know.
That was actually really good.
I'm not sure why the dad had so much blood all over his face.
But there were two dads, and then all of a sudden, there were more than people just start popping up. Extra people. I could see that as a sitcom.
Yeah,
I absolutely. I was buying in. Like I wanna go in.
It was totally fun.
It reminded me of Alf.
Yeah. That's what I went off of. That's what I was going off.
Okay.
Yeah, I was really going off of the Alf theme. Yeah, I went. You've stolen our hearts. Even when you take the car apart, oh Claude,
Claude.
what
You
have
know,
you done this time?
there's probably a 12-step program out there for you
I've
because
probably
you've really gone
I've gone to
you've
off the
really
deep
gone
end
down
when
the
it comes
you've
to
really
this stuff.
gone down
I'm
the rabbit
having
hole.
way too much fun with this stuff. It's just so silly and so much fun. Yeah, it was hard. I will tell you that. It was. These tools are not built for building really building a sort of long, consistent video. You really got to work at it.
So how long did it take you?
It took me the better part of Saturday, and it was last Saturday after we did our show. I was like, the song came very quickly. I wrote the lyrics because I went back and watched like the all the great 1980s sitcoms.
Did research for this.
Oh, I did. I went back and watched all the great intros for like Blossom. Blossom's a great one. And what's the with the two twins,
Full House.
Jesse and Full House. Thank you. Full House and Family Ties and all these sort of great 80s and 90s sitcoms, 3-camera sitcoms, so that I could remind myself of the style. And then I wrote the lyrics. And the beans. Thank you for noticing the beans thing.
How could you not? You probably needed to put closed captioning on because the words are golden.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Thank you.
It had the rose touch.
Yeah, it was fun,
good or bad.
It was totally fun, and then the music. I did a prompt in Suno just to do an 80s style sitcom, and it took it right away. I mean, I got pretty good results right away. I had to do it a few times and play with it and all that kind of stuff. But then the video was really hard. The video was like the video took way too long than I wanted it to, which is why I really wanted it to be consistent and have that classic, when they zoom into the face and it's like, all the characters, and they kept making the characters different. Like I couldn't keep it, even though you're in flow, you basically go, extend the video and the character before, and it just didn't.
There's like 7 different Claudes.
Yeah, right.
It's like
all sorts of different
with no face. Here's a Claude with a face. Here's a different face.
That's right.
Like,
that's right.
Just in case.
Yeah.
No, you're doing a great job. I'm a little concerned that the majority of the show is going to be AI'd. And it's not going to be us anymore.
Yeah.
When are we not going to be needed for this show?
It's not anytime soon because
I think it might be yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think we're needed. I don't think we're needed at all. Speaking of not needed, my Browns won.
Yes, as did my Cowboys.
As did the Cowboys. I watched your Cowboys destroy. I mean, they were great.
Yeah, they look good. Yeah, they looked really nice. And the Browns played very well too.
Well, the Browns played Miami, and I thought we were the worst. I thought we were the worst team in the league. Well, we're not.
No. Miami's by far the worst team in the league. Yeah.
But Tua, I'm a little concerned about. I think Tua is playing different since the concussions. Let's just put it out there.
100%.
He's not the same. He's not the same quarterback. And they have issues.
I feel Tua, like I mean, obviously with all the behavior stuff aside, from just a pure skills position, I've always thought Tua was overrated. I always thought he was overrated, and and to your point, he has not fared well, from an injury standpoint. I mean, he's had multiple concussions, and so I just think he's washed.
Well, I mean, it's good for the Browns fan base because, I mean, they think we're still in it at 2-5 because we have a resurgence now.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's
the defense is amazing.
Defense is great. I like our running back. I saw a stat, and then we can move on because some people hate our football talk.
Yeah.
But it was the first time it was done either ever or in decades where you had a rookie lead the team in passing, in rushing, in receiving, and in tackles.
Yeah.
And it's just not done. We have a very young team.
Yeah.
Because we spent all our money on Deshaun Watson, so we can't afford it.
Well, you get all those draft picks too, so
yeah, it's always about the draft. I get to watch. I mean, my prediction of Tampa Bay winning the Super Bowl. I'm feeling pretty
looking
good.
good. Yeah, looking good. I mean, they
look
lost,
good.
of course, but
They
yeah.
lost this weekend. Yeah, but they're
They still
still
look great.
5-2 or something like that. I feel
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm now a Bucks fan. So
There you
I'm
go.
gonna
Okay.
start
All
talking
right.
about the Bucks, and you can. I don't know. You're still in it. You're like 3-3-1, right? You're
Yeah,
good.
3-3-1. We'll see.
good.
We'll see. We play the Broncos this weekend. We'll see what happens. Yeah, for
Ooh,
sure.
Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Bo Nix, one of the
Fascinating.
greatest comebacks of all time.
Yeah.
Bo Nix
Yeah.
and beat your Giants that you
Against
hate.
the Giants. Yeah.
So you must have loved that game. So, anyways, but yeah, I had I'll talk a little bit about Macon. I went to Macon in Cleveland. I don't think we talked about it because I think we recorded early. But
Yeah.
I'll make sure we have an AI
Really an AI themed show. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like we have more of these every.
Well, it's the oxygen in the room right now. I mean, this is what everybody's talking about, right? It's interesting because I think one of the things that so many marketing teams are forgetting is that, yeah, there are some fundamentals things to do as well. Everybody's so wrapped around. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good thing you're here
to
tell everybody about, we got to go back and talk about Drucker and talk about,
well, we got to talk about advertising. We got to talk about first party data. We got to talk about actually search ads and paid media and PR and comms, and it's all there. It's all the fundamentals are still there and working.
All right, why don't you kick us off? What do we got?
Yeah, we got a great show. So we're going to first open up the show with OpenAI, and they've launched a browser. They launched a web browser. Speaking of AI trends, we'll talk a little bit about that. Amazon is looking to replace most of its workers, it says. Is any job safe? And we'll also talk about them and Meta, and how, sort of as a corollary to that, a bunch of leaders have come together to try and ban superintelligence. A bunch of people signed a petition to say that superintelligence should be banned, and it's got Steve Wozniak and Richard Branson and a bunch of other sort of luminaries, as it were, in the business world. Then we'll talk about the fact that OpenAI, well, it may soon become, Pornhub. So there you go. All right, it's going to soon allow Erotica. And we'll talk about maybe the ethics of some of that. And YouTube is now really looking to expand its distribution, and it will be now on Delta flights. And we'll talk a little bit about how content creators can start to take advantage of some of that. We'll get to our winners and losers, where I'm going to talk about Kim Kardashian and
I can't wait for that conversation.
Yeah, that's going to be weird. You can stick around for the weird, folks, because it's going to get really weird. And Joe is going to talk about Ann Handley's new website, our friend Ann Handley.
You did. He's going to hate the way that you transferred that.
We're gonna exactly. There you go.
And Ann Handley's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's very good. That's I didn't even think about that segue before, but that's going to be a good one that she'll really appreciate. And then we'll get to our rants and raves, where Joe will rave, I guess, about the new CRIT framework and talk a little bit more about Macon. And I'm going to talk about Spotify, a rave about Spotify and an experience that I had with them, which I think is just really a great example of customer experience. So there you go.
With Spotify. This is really turning into a weird show.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's an odd one. It's an odd one, but it's going to be good. It's going to be fantastic. Starts off with Ohhh Claude. Come on. All right, let's get to our first story, which is coming to us courtesy of TechCrunch. The headline here is that OpenAI launches an AI-powered browser, ChatGPT Atlas. I tweeted out, I threaded out, I guess is the right way to say it.
Is that what you say? Is it a threat? I know it's a threat, but do you thread on thread?
Yeah, I don't know. I whatever it was.
Weave? Do you weave? I weaved it.
Or what's the knitting thing?
I knotted it. It's a knot.
Yeah.
It's a double knot. Two threads is a double knot.
There you go. Anyway, I threaded out because the first thing I thought of was OpenAI launched a browser called Atlas. Not gonna lie, I shrugged.
Oh my God.
See where I went with that?
Did not.
See, I did do, and I got all kinds of love for it. So that dad joke totally landed. All right. Anyway, the article opens up by saying OpenAI announced Tuesday the launch of its AI-powered browser, ChatGPT Atlas, a major step in the company's quest to unseat Google as the main way people find information online. Good luck with that. Anyway, The company says Atlas will first roll out on Mac OS with support for Windows, iOS, and Android coming soon. OpenAI says the product will be available to all free users at launch. Browsers have quickly become the AI industry's next battleground. While Google Chrome has long dominated the space, there's a sense that AI chatbots and agents are fundamentally changing how people get work done online. A handful of startups have already tried to capture this by launching AI-powered browsers, such as Perplexity's Comet, the browser companies Dia. Google and Microsoft have also tried to update Chrome and Edge, respectively, with AI-powered features to make their legacy products stand out. The article goes on to talk about the killer features, which basically is the built-in chatbot, shocking of all shocks. And basically that the quote from OpenAI is that the product lead there says, browser history will be made with ChatGPT Atlas, meaning that ChatGPT can now log the websites you visit and what you do on them and use that information to make its answers more personalized. In other words, it's going to watch everything you do. What do you think about
first
this?
First of all, my God, George Orwell has got to be rolling over. I mean, talk about hitting the nail on the head.
It's not a bug; it's a feature, my friend.
With Big Brother going on here. I first of all, I think it's a good move. I mean, I know you scoffed at the whole like going after Google, but if Google's afraid of one company, it's OpenAI. I think
it's not even slightly afraid of OpenAI.
Why not?
I don't think so. I don't because
that's your argument. I don't think so. Like,
I don't think so.
I just don't think so. Okay, that's a great argument. Thank you,
isn't
Robert.
that most arguments these days?
Like, I don't know.
It's not fake news.
No,
it's fake news.
It is. It's not. So I believe that what you want as a tech company is you want access to their first inclination to search for something, right? That's kind of what Google has done. That's how they built their business. That's why they launched Chrome, so that you could open it up and there's Google. So if the more people that use Atlas, which, you know what, name, fine, I don't care. Open up next, and then you're going to open up the OpenAI search feature. And if you're not in OpenAI search feature, whatever that is, you're going to have the chatbot, OpenAI chatbot, with you on everything to help you. So you are, and if you aren't, you are at the same time. I think it's a really good move. We'll see where it goes. Everyone seems to be running for it. I mean, maybe it's a bigger challenge for Perplexity with this news actually than anybody, because I think that's
100%. That's true.
I think that's who OpenAI can take out, because you're gonna. I know we talk about. I mean, how many frontier LLMs are there now? But you've got Elon doing his thing. You've got Microsoft. You've got Google.
Meta.
You've got Meta. You've got OpenAI. You've got Anthropic. So you got a lot of mess going on. That's going to be consolidated. There's going to be 2 or 3, just like there is in every industry. Yeah. I really do. I mean, I think we're just going through. It's wild, wild west with this thing right now, and you're going to have some consolidation.
Well, you're going to have some consolidation. I don't know that it's going to get down to 2, though. I can't. I mean, look, you can argue that it's 5 now, basically. Well, so going to 2 wouldn't be, would only be taking 3 out. But who wins, right? Who, of the frontier models that are out there, who are the 2 that win, right? Is it OpenAI and Google, pretty much? As the sort of Mac and Windows, sort of different versions of each other. That means Perplexity's gone. It means Meta's gone. It means,
let's look at it not as there's only going to be 2 or 3. Let's look at market share. I think that's what's going to happen. And a really good example of that is what happened with AWS a couple days ago. Sure. AWS hosts 33% of all the websites on the planet. And so you probably got it. Like I got 7 emails from, this service is down. You can't get this. This is not working. I mean, there was a lot of people. There were people that were freaking out because they couldn't trade their stocks in the morning. I mean, this is a big deal. You're going to have that kind of thing where you have 1 or 2 that has the majority of the big brotherish going on here, where they're taking over all the services. I think that's what's going to happen. Anyways, it looks like OpenAI is just doing as long as these companies keep launching these little things where they want to be the first go-to. I think that's what the thing, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in your glasses, whether it's in your car. What is that iOS? What's that OS that opens up? That's, I think, what they're all shooting for.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing, I mean, this reminds me so much of 1999, 2000, right? I mean, where, you had the browser wars happening again, and then you had all of these startups, and mostly it was around e-commerce in those days, sort of trying to do anything they could, throw all the spaghetti against the wall to find some justification for the valuation and revenue that they had. And all of these sort of launches like Atlas, to me, reek of OpenAI basically trying to justify all of this money that they are spending, and the valuation, and to justify that, whatever it is, 300x valuation, that they have. It's just crazy multiples that are happening right now, and all the insider moves of money where, OpenAI invests in NVIDIA, and NVIDIA uses that investment to spend more money on, OpenAI, and then, you've got the OpenAI and NVIDIA spending more money and investing in Microsoft, which is spending more money back to Intel. I mean, all of that sort of money that's just, it's funny money moving around basically to justify everybody's valuation. And that was exactly what was going on I was part of it in 2000, right? In 2000, I was sitting there working for one of the biggest consulting firms in web technology, a company called US Web, which ultimately became a company called March 1st. And we were doing stuff like pets.com and Webvan and stamps.com and, all of those mp3.com and all these sort of companies where we had a whole, and I was part of this, the venture arm that would basically get these proposals from these startups that were pre-revenue startups. And we would take a position and sell them as part of that position the consulting services that would build their website and their technology. They would then take that and go to Silicon Valley and get money that got invested. It just, all that stuff ended up in a giant big bubble pop. And it's going to happen at some point. And I just, I find it interesting that Apple is really choosing to stay sort of on the sidelines here. I have a feeling that they're sitting back going, let's just let's let them all sort of pop, and then we'll come in, right? It's going to be a fascinating time the next 24 months.
It's interesting to see Apple is acting like what Walmart did during
the
dot-com era,
that's exactly
where Walmart just said, you know what, we're not going to focus on online shopping right now. We're just going to wait. Yep. And it hurt them at first, but I think long term they probably made the right decision because they didn't chase after it.
Yeah.
But I will say that you're right. How many companies were there? I mean, from of course the pets.com of the world to the globe.com to all these things that just imploded. But you also out of that saw some of the greatest companies of Google,
Amazon came out of that. eBay came out of that. Yeah.
So yeah, you'll have some winners. I mean,
correct.
Not that we're giving stock advice, but if you did believe that the bubble was coming, you take a little bit off right now, let it all happen, and then say, here's the winners. What we're gonna, because I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, speaking of which,
go ahead.
You say you were going to say I'm not a.
No. Go ahead. You're going to talk about the next.
I am.
Ahead
yes.
The next
yeah. So it's a segue because it's a perfect thing to talk about, which is there have been numerous stories. We'll pick a couple here that have been talking about how these companies, the Amazons and the Metas of the world, are going to be replacing most of its workers. The headline that we'll pull here from the New York Times. Great story, I guess, from the New York Times. Basically, Amazon plans to replace more than 500,000 jobs with robots. And basically, the article opens up by saying, over the past 2 decades, no company has done more to shape the American workplace than Amazon. In its ascent to become the nation's second largest employer, it has hired hundreds of thousands of warehouse workers, built an army of contract drivers, and pioneered using technology to hire, monitor, and manage employees. Now, interviews and a cache of internal strategy documents viewed by the New York Times reveal that Amazon executives believe the company's on the cusp of its next big workplace shift, replacing more than 500,000 jobs with robots. Now, that's AI and maybe sort of physical robots because of how much they work with physical, like people doing physical labor, like in warehouses and pick,
Sure.
pack, and ship and all that sort of thing. You combine that with an Axios article that we'll put in the show notes here, which the headline is Meta slashes jobs in its AI operations, which may already start to spell some of what we just talked about. Meta is cutting several hundred roles from its AI unit, even as it continues to hire for newer TBD lab, Axios has learned. The company concluded that its long-standing AI efforts had become overly bureaucratic and hopes the reorganization will create a more agile operation, according to an internal memo seen by Axios. By reducing the size of our team, fewer conversations will be required to make a decision, and each person will be more load-bearing and have more scope and impact, said Chief AI Officer Alexander Wang. Load-bearing. Ridiculous way to refer to people, but holy crap. Anyway, go.
So here's what's interesting to me in the Amazon one.
Yeah.
They're already aggressive at trying to get rid of workers.
Yeah.
They went to the board with the plan.
Well, they've been doing this for years.
I understand that they've been doing it for years,
Yeah.
but just think about this. This is Amazon, who is the kings of optimization when it comes to this type of stuff. So they're very, very efficient with everything. They went to the board with, here's our plan, and the board said, not enough. Like, we want more automated workers. We want less human workers. And just to go a little bit back to my experience at Maycon last week, and the more I talk to CEOs, that's a drum they're all beating on. Right. They're trying, like, if you're listening to this and you're in marketing, HR, human relations, if you're into any type of communications role, whatever you're doing right now, you need to know that everyone above you in the executive ranks is trying to figure out how to get rid of your job. They like, not you specifically, but they're trying to get rid of headcount. And it has become, we talked about on this program, where you want, these startups are out there trying to build the next billion-dollar company with one person.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It is sort of a I don't know what to call that. Like, what they're trying to run up this mountain and catch this thing. I haven't seen something like this since 2000. You mentioned when I was at Pet Media, which at one time was the largest independent media company in the world. I started in February 2000, and there were 7 people between myself and the CEO. And 18 months later, I was reporting to the CEO, not because I was great, not because I was special in any way.
All that middle management got it's like taking the center out of the bread, right? I mean, it's like all that you're left with is the crust.
And a lot of it was, I mean, there were a lot of issues that happened, but some of it was, hey, we've got all this new technology right now. We're going to do graphics differently. We're going to do our layout differently. We're going to move some print to online. We're going to do all this stuff, and we can get rid of this whole layer of middle management.
Yeah.
And it happened. And what we're seeing right now is 100 times that.
Yeah.
So
I think it is. Well, it's that I saw an estimate that said it was the AI bubble is 17 times larger than the .com bubble. Now, some of that is inflation and the value of money that goes up, but it's not 17x, right? I mean, it's a bigger than the .com bubble for sure.
It's just interesting that you got the don't hire mantra within the majority of these companies right now. Like, don't hire AI. That's not what, right or wrong. And you've mentioned it, like you've talked about. It's like, hey, I don't think it's right. It doesn't matter. That's what's happening, and I think it's only going to accelerate.
Which is,
we have to prepare. If you have I'm sorry, whoever's listening, if you have a job right now, you work for somebody else, you have to be preparing the way for that to happen within the next 3 years. You have to.
Sure. Well, you have to be thinking about it anyway. I mean, you have to be thinking about which jobs are likely to, which jobs are CEOs likely to make stupid decisions about, right?
Marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's exactly right. Where the narrative that's coming out of so many of these places is basically, oh, it's going to allow all these marketing teams to do more strategic, more creative work. But the narrative inside isn't that, right? The narrative inside the business is like, no, to your point, reduce headcount, which is just the stupidest decision of all. And I've said it before, I've said it in rants, I've said it online, I've been writing articles sort of all about this, which is, I think that is the opportunity to zig and get some of the best talent that's going to be available while everybody else is zagging and build a human team, because ultimately I think long term that's going to be just like sitting on, watching this stuff from the, like not rushing into this, like, it's the lesson that came out of the .com industry, which was, let the value, that the long-term value build, right? And lean into that. Don't get caught up in the shiny object that is the sort of get rich quick, because ultimately those will be the survivors of this.
But what was interesting at MACON conference in Cleveland last week, which you had a group of people, marketers and executives, that were there saying, how can we use these AI tools and this philosophy or strategy to be more efficient? If everyone starts using this more, we can do more things. We can be more strategic. So there were a lot of that. There were a lot of people there also that said, okay, I have to learn all these things because I'm going to create an agent for SEO. I'm going to create an agent for communications, for PR, to do my advertising, to do my findability, to do everything for me. So I become a marketing department of one, but I have a legion of 20 different GPTs set up to do, or agents set up to do all these other things. You're going to see both.
You are going to see both, and you're going to see those things be, it still requires a human to know what good looks like. That's all I'll say. It still requires a human to know what good looks like. So if you're a marketing department of one and you have GPTs doing everything, but you don't understand what good copy looks like, you don't understand what good imagery looks like, you don't understand, you're just going to be producing whatever the GPT pulls out and saying, that's my output. Welcome to mediocrity.
I don't know if I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that you can teach it to.
You can't teach it because you can't recognize, if you can't recognize what excellence or remarkable looks like, you can't teach it. It's garbage in, garbage out.
If you can set up your AI as the expert from everything, like the AI that you set up has access to every book that every marketing expert has ever written. They can synthesize that into something. And if you're asking the right questions, if you're interviewing correctly, you can pull that information out.
Well, but hold on. You just said the magic words. If you're interviewing correctly, if you know what to ask, if you recognize what that good looks like. In other words, it's going to go through all the marketing books, all the expert books. There's a wonderful video, by the way, on this from Rick Beto, who's a musician who talks about this in a long video. If you've subscribed to him, he's awesome. He talks about musicians and pop music and the modern culture of music. He's awesome. And he talks about this idea that says, look, right now, if you're an expert, like if you are truly an expert in your craft, AI is perfect for you because it can help you be more of an expert faster, and it can help you express things quicker, and it can help you sort of sort through and pressure test ideas because you know what good looks like. Right. But if it's not, if you're just, like if you're a beginner, you don't even know what to ask. And he uses the example of like, how would you pull the midfills, out of a drum kit, in a studio room. Right. And of course, AI goes, well, I looked at best practices and this is what I did. And this is what you find. It's like, if you don't recognize that as right or wrong, and you just copy paste that in and say, this is the right way to do it. It's like, it may or may not work for you. So you said the magic words, which is if you know how, right, to do this, it will produce good results.
So I would say that they're for the upper level of marketers right now. If you lean into this stuff, you should be okay for a little bit.
100%.
If you are an average marketing, which is most marketers, I would say. I mean, that's the average. That's the definition of average. You're in big trouble right now. I would set I would be urgent. I wouldn't just say you need to be thinking about these things. You need to be urgently doing something about this right now.
Well, that's the key, is that you urgently need to go get good at the thing you want to be good at. Yes. That's the key. It's like people keep stressing the wrong thing in my mind. They keep saying you need to go get good at AI. No,
I agree with you.
You need to go get good at the thing you want to be good at. Thus, AI will help you be better at it. That's the thing. You need to understand. So go back to your fundamentals of marketing, go back to your fundamentals of creative design, go back to your fundamentals of, whatever practice, musicianship, all the kinds of things that you need to be good at in order to be able to use AI to create more and pressure test and make you better, make you a better and deeper, more creative person. That's the mandate right? And I do believe in the urgency. I'm with you there. It's the urgency, but it's the urgency to go good, get good at the thing you need to get good at, and then use AI to do that.
I'm stopping this because we need
damn
to
right.
commercial.
I
know I'm not.
You damn right.
I said what I said. I'm gonna stick with
damn right. All right. Speaking of which, we should just throwing it out there. We'll put in the show notes to think about the signature with all the luminaries basically.
Oh yeah.
About
there was
banning superintelligence.
Group of experts around the world.
Yeah.
Luminaries in AI that signed against superintelligence as like a dire warning.
Yeah,
that the end of the world is coming.
Which is
to put a cherry on top of our conversation.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. So now let's use some AI and pay some bills.
Started out with nothing but a mic and a file. Thought we'd change the world in lo-fi style. But truth is heavy and the bills got sharp. Now we're pushing HubSpot like it's modern art. You can track the click but not the shame. Our podcast sold to the marketing game. They said build a funnel, well they will come. But it's hard to dream when your ad reads are numb. We're just paying the bills with a podcast mic and NFL thrills. Yeah, we plug cloud tools while the lights stay on, but I scream each CTA like it's a breakup song. We're just paying the bills.
Being a know-it-all, it used to be considered a bad thing. But in business, it's everything. Because right now, most businesses only use 20% of their data. Unless you have HubSpot. That's where data buried in emails, call logs, and meeting notes, well, they become insights that help you grow your business. Because when you know more, you grow more. You see, being a know-it-all, it isn't so bad. Visit HubSpot.com today to learn more. Do you need a more inclusive podcast? Well, let me tell you about Inclusion and Marketing. Hosted by Sonia Thompson, Inclusion and Marketing digs into important topics like belonging, customer experience, and diversity, and how you can practice inclusive marketing authentically. Because when you lead with inclusivity, you win the attention, adoration, loyalty, and trust of a broader group of consumers. Get Inclusion and Marketing wherever you find your favorite podcast.
We're just paying the bills.
Did you see the comment on LinkedIn when I posted the video that said like something about that?
The last 10
scene
seconds
can't be unseen.
Yeah.
It's so terrible.
Yeah, it's good.
Which is the best part.
Oh, it's so good. I loved all those comments. Yeah, it was so great.
You should get what we should do, I think, as for marketing, since this is a marketing show, you should just do the MP3s of those and we'll put them up as a Spotify playlist. I think people would want to listen to it. Don't you think?
Sure. I have them on my, not that anybody knows about this, but I have created a Suno, like you can create a Suno page that has all the songs on it. And I've created a Suno page, which we could put that in the show notes if you want.
Yeah, let's do that. Send it over.
But I like the idea of making them, putting them on Spotify would be.
I think we should make, and then every month we will have a new song.
Yeah.
And every
exactly.
song is called Paying the Bills.
That's right. That they're all called Paying the Bills. That's exactly
I think
right.
we'll have 12 months of paying the bills.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Marketing. I like how
Yeah.
you created a Suno page in like a playlist
Yeah.
quietly. Like you don't want to tell him.
Yeah. I got a couple
Tell
of
the
others. I
world
got a
about
couple of other songs up there too that I've done. And the Hello Claude or Oh Claude rather so
it.
is there
Oh
too. And
man. See, you can
so,
put Ohhh Claude on there too.
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
The 7 people that want it.
That's
We're
right.
gonna give it to them.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. All right, let's move on to our next story here, which gets to us. Well, we're just going to go right to the source on this, OpenAI, although there are a number of major media outlets are covering this. Basically, it's in the what we'll link to is the OpenAI developer community, which is basically the announcement that, OpenAI will soon allow erotica for verified adults. So Sam Altman has basically come out and said that within the next, I don't know how long, soon, I think December is when they're thinking about launching this.
Very soon.
That OpenAI will start allowing. And now what does that mean? Does that mean pictures with Sora? Does that mean video with Sora 2? Does that mean just text? I mean, it's a little unclear about what, which of the platforms, if not all of them, will be able to do this. But I mean, I'm torn on this. I have definitely multiple thoughts on this. What do you think?
I feel this is not just, first of all, do we need AI erotica? Do we?
No, I mean,
do
do
we not have?
Stephen Colbert?
Is there not
thing?
enough?
Yeah.
Is there not enough?
Did you see the Stephen Colbert thing?
I did. Yeah, Stephen
where he
Colbert
pulled the real.
That's what we need. Is more. Yeah. He's like, I really am fond of the humans creating erotica that are out there. So it says in this OpenAI community page that they're going to start more robust age gating in December. I almost feel like this is getting to a point, especially with social media and how bad the research is getting on what it's doing to kids, that we might have to have age gating for the internet at some point soon. Like
well, that's impossible. That's just impossible. Yeah.
I'm just saying it's getting it's getting to be a bigger problem than I think that it. Maybe it's always been there.
It's a huge problem, but I mean, even going back to the AWS story, right? I mean, there were stories. I saw plenty of my colleagues and friends that like posted pictures of their blender. Their blender wouldn't work because it couldn't connect to the internet and through the Amazon Web Services. It's like,
my God.
So there was so much of just basic Internet of Things. Rely on the internet. You can't age gate the internet, but age gating these services, you certainly could, right? And social media being one of them, AI, and certainly, AI elements being the other. The question is, do you censor it all, or do you age gate only like what they're doing here? It seems like what they're doing here, which is, some elements of content. I can already, by the way, see them clamping down on this. I'm getting more and more in when I do like the show stuff and the Ohhh Claude stuff, and like Sora and ChatGPT is coming back more and more with like, sorry, that violates our content standards. You can't ask for that. It's like, I'm not asking for an actor.
What are you asking for?
I'm asking for it to do stuff like
you're asking
Ohhh Claude.
for.
Yeah, right.
Everyone knows what you're asking for. I don't have to say it.
So no. Here's the thing that I had to actually work a thing around, right? By the way, I got so many people emailing me the screenshot of you and I as cheerleaders. So, but
oh geez.
So
yeah.
You tell me how you would ask for young cheerleaders, doing a dance, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
I get it.
Even doing the most innocent things in your own head, it can be, you can be taken the wrong way for sure. So you get, I didn't get anything untoward. Let me just be clear about that. When I did all my prompts, I got nothing untoward because I was really clear about who should be the cheerleader.
So what do you think about ChatGPT allowing this for verified?
I struggle with it. I struggle with it because it is yet again very much like the browser thing to me. This is them, looking for a way to justify the valuation, right? Because of content, right? Because of them opening up the content vault. I think it's something like 30% of all searches right now are porn related, right? And so that, it's a big business. It's a huge business. How that actually gets portrayed in this, I think, is all the key. But it is yet another headline, right? Is it in the race of headlines, which is, let's be perfectly honest, all this really is like more and more headlines, keep them in the news, keep them looking like they're innovating, keep them looking like they're justifying that huge valuation as they struggle with the costs of electricity and water and compute. And so that's the battle that they have to face in marketing, right? Of OpenAI is, we've got to seem like we're constantly inventing and rolling out new things, because that's the only thing that, if we look for a second like we're resting on our laurels, or we don't have something big coming, then it's gonna, it can unwind very quickly. So it's, for what it really will end up being, I think it's probably mostly a nothing burger, but we'll see what actually happens.
I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but you saw the movie Idiocracy, right?
Yeah.
It may be OpenAI is Brondo. Like Brondo is the drink with electrolytes that basically becomes the sponsor for almost everything.
That's right.
You only have like 6 companies that are running all the things.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Brondo. Brondo does everything.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and I wonder, I mean, if you're not far off, by the way, there's what is it? The 10, the innovative 10 or something like that they call them. Basically 10 companies that make up.
They added AMD. They had the Mag 7.
Yeah.
And they added 3 companies. They added Broadcom, they added AMD, and one other one, which I don't know.
That are now like 60% of the stock market or something, some crazy number like that. It's absolutely insane. Anyway,
okay.
Well, let's get to our next story here so that we keep on time, which will be around YouTube. And YouTube, this is coming courtesy of Marketing Brew. Creators prepare for takeoff. See what they did there? They thought they were very cute. See, prepare for takeoff as YouTube content comes to Delta planes. YouTube creators like Mr. Beast, Kanigra Dion, am I getting that right? Or Michelle Kerr have landed on a new way to find audiences. For the chronically online, one of the most painful parts of flying might be disconnecting from content creators. Now, Delta passengers don't need to. Through a new partnership with YouTube, the airline is introducing ad-free content from certain creators to seatback screens and other in-flight entertainment accessible via personal devices. As part of the deal, podcasts, music, and videos from creators including Kanigra Dion, Mr. Beast, Michelle Kerr, Mother Goose Club will be available for Delta customers to tune into during flights. This is the article goes on, by the way, to just, spell a little more of the details out and some of the content creators that'll be in the initial program. My very quick take on this is brilliant on both YouTube and Delta's part. This is the cheapest way to replace your in-flight magazine that there is, and just a great way to get very, very inexpensive content that people, that young people will like.
I'm sure they're not. I mean, you could tell
genius
from the quotes that the content creators aren't necessarily getting paid. I don't think for this. I think this is marketing for them, right?
Totally, totally. It's about getting them to getting their audience. So it's basically, I'm sure YouTube is going to these folks and saying, "Hey, listen, you can be part of this program or not. It's up to you." And they're all going, yeah, thank you very much. I have to do nothing and, and get more exposure. I'll take it. Right.
But by the way, it's not new. I mean, if you go to like United and they'll have United exclusives, and and when you go to all their apps, they have exclusive content like this. I think
but it's mostly boring travel stuff, right? It's that boring travel.
They have, you can get like exclusive audiobooks and things on. I mean,
is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. You just, I mean, I don't know. You probably just fall right asleep when you're on these planes. Like I go and I'm doing
work to do.
When I get on these planes, I do research for this show.
Yeah, I do
rest.
Work. No, I
have to rest, and I get it. You got to rest. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
you have to take a
break. The leader of the free world. I need the shallow steps up to the plane. I need the shallow steps up to the plane because I'm just too old and decrepit to actually get up the big stairs. Yeah,
but we have talked about the fact that more and more it seems like YouTube is becoming TV.
It totally, wow, 100%. I'm, you know, so we're doubling down on YouTube. I'm telling all my clients to double down on YouTube. It is becoming TV. It is becoming TV. And I've actually considered, and not lightly considered, we're trying to figure out a way to sort of, you know, just pull the trigger on it, which is I'm a subscriber to YouTube TV, which gets me all my local channels, gets me all the cable channels that I want to watch, ESPN, et cetera,
Sure.
in live TV. And I can cut my DirecTV out. I can just cut it out. I don't need it anymore. And it's working lovely. It's through my Apple TV. It's fantastic.
Well,
So
it won't be long until cable is done.
Yeah,
for good,
100%.
which is amazing to say that, but that's happening.
Yeah,
Very
100%.
quick. Yeah.
All right, let's get to our speaking of winners and losers. Let's get to our winners and losers, where Joe and I pick a winner from the last week of marketing or a loser from the last week of marketing. We both have winners this week. Would you like me to go first, or would you like to go first?
Oh, let me go first. It's just real quick. I just
save Anne from ourselves.
Save Anne. Yeah, let me put this up on screen. This is Anne's new website.
Fantastic.
Michelle Martello, who, by the way, I have to send a shout out all the way. Michelle Marcello, who did my site, joepolizzi.com, also does Ann Hanley's site. This is a beautiful site. If you get to check it out. What I love about it is the focus on you have one thing to do. This site's purpose is to do one thing. Of course, you could find out about Ann speaking and books and all that stuff, but really, Ann just wants you to sign up for her newsletter.
Yep.
And that's why we talked about the whole idea of the show is we have a short window. I believe that's true for discovery for creators right now. And I feel we have our time to build our, to your point, first party data, to get that data, to get that direct connection. That direct connection is going to pay off for years and maybe decades to come. And if you want to see a really good example of somebody doing it the right way, in my opinion, check out annhanley.com. We'll put it in the show notes. So you get right there, the one newsletter you can't wait to open, which is true. She's got a fantastic newsletter. So
yeah, it's a great newsletter.
Hats off to what she's doing.
Yeah. Fantastic. That's a great one. I love her. She's awesome.
And yours,
mine is just weird. I don't know if it's a winner or if it's just weird. Yeah, there's a bunch of people covering this, but so basically the gist of the story is that Kim Kardashian has launched a very weird new product with Skims, is the name, and it's basically a thong sort of product that has pubic hair attached to it. There's no other way to say it. I mean, that's just what it is. It's just weird. And there is a commercial that goes along with it. I don't know that this video actually has the commercial in it, where they're basing doing a spoof of a 1960s game show.
It does. It does go in.
And so it basically is, do the drapes that match the carpet. And so it's very funny. It's very interesting. It's super weird to me. So I'm really struggling to whether, I mean, it's
here
a
it
winner.
Is right here. Does the carpet match the drapes? This is the little game show that Kim.
It's genius either way. I love the creativity and swinging for the fences either way here. Whether it's going to work and be a winner or a loser, I don't know. And honestly, I'm not the target market, so to me it just seems odd. But I think I'm calling it a winner only because it leans so far into the weird that it just seems completely genius to me. This is the kind of thing that you get known for. Not that she needs any more notoriety, but it's absolutely brilliant from that perspective. So hats off to Kim and Skims for whether this is a serious product or not. It doesn't matter. It's going to get them all kinds of attention for other stuff.
Yeah. So I told you before the show, Pam and I went to a Halloween party. The Callie, Callie. So JK,
you
shout out. Had a great time.
Jesus.
No, I did not. So my wife went as Mary.
Yeah, and you were Joseph.
And I went as Joseph.
Yeah.
Because I thought it'd be weird to go as Jesus and Mary. So we went as Joseph and Mary, of course. So that doesn't offend anybody. That's all good. Like we leaned into it. But everyone started calling me Jesus.
Yeah.
And okay, it probably was a Jesus outfit, but anyways, it doesn't matter. But anyways, I went as Jesus, and during that, we had a discussion of this Kim Kardashian line
Yeah.
of panties,
Yeah.
which is just a whole weird thing among itself. But that's when I saw it, and they were like, "Oh, it's sold out like forever. Like you can't like it's the demand for this is incredible." And I thought it I think what you were saying when you first saw it, I thought it wasn't real.
I thought it
thought
wasn't real either. And then I looked at it,
fake.
and then it was like, this is totally real, and the products are there. Whether it's like a stunt, like when some products do like a merging of brands, like, and they make a limited amount available, like I don't know what we talked about one of them last, where I think it was Oreo and Reese's. That's what it was.
Oh
Oreo and
the
Reese's
mashup.
You basically release a very limited edition of it just to get some attention and stuff like that. But this feels, it feels different in so many ways, right? So I just think it's brilliant.
And to the whole thing about nostalgia marketing, which is everywhere now. It's
I know.
so nuts. I mean, that little game show right out of the 70s.
That's right.
That's
right. And by the way, human created. It's not AI. It's all that those are humans that are actually in that commercial, and they made it look aged, and they make it look like it comes from the 1960s. It's so good. It's crazy. So good.
Okay.
All right, let's get to our rants and raves, where Joe and I go off on a little bit of a rant or a little bit of a rave over something that makes us feel, basically like we took over and heisted the Louvre, or that we didn't. Did you see that?
Did they they didn't catch.
They haven't
like
caught
smash
them
and
yet.
grab daytime
daylight.
job.
It's right in the middle of the day. They did this. They just sort of went in and smashed a bunch of stuff. They were like using saws and stuff in the middle. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
The art, I did read one article on it, and they said something about they were short-staffed.
Yes, they were short-staffed, and I had that in my newsletter this week. I made reference to it, and I had someone from Paris correct me and basically say, "Hey, listen, yes, they were short-staffed, but the staff has been, I guess, bitching for months that they've been short-staffed. They actually went on strike, I guess, at some point last year, which wasn't really covered very much here." But yeah, they've been short-staffed for a long time, and security being one of them. And they've been complaining like, "Hey, we're short-staffed on security on everything, and something's going to happen," and something did.
Unbelievable. That's so crazy. All
interesting.
Right.
Anyways, let me go first because mine's very quick. So every Sunday morning, my wife and I, one of the biggest rituals that we have is Sunday morning breakfast. Like, I've had it since I was a kid. I make a big breakfast every Sunday morning. It's just our family sort of ritual that we have. And so what happens is we get up, we have our Sunday morning, we read the paper a little bit, we turn on Spotify and basically let it go. And, I've made some playlists or we'll turn on one artist if we're feeling like, whatever we're feeling like that morning, we just let the music go and we play and we have a big breakfast. And that, is basically until I have to sit down and watch football is basically what it is. So we turn on Spotify this last Sunday. And as soon as I turn it on, there's a new playlist in my playlist, in my menu, and it's called the Sunday morning playlist. And I'm like, I didn't make that. What is that? And I click on it, and basically Spotify sends me a message and says, "Hey, we just noticed that every Sunday for the past whatever months, you've been listening to Spotify every Sunday morning. So we made you a playlist. We made you what we're calling a Sunday morning playlist, and here you go." And I was like, and I looked through it, and it's just a great mix of all the stuff that we typically play on Sunday mornings. And it was just such a surprise and delight, such a lovely little thing. Clearly probably AI generated or however they do it, but it was so lovely. It was just such a wonderful thing. No big announcement, no like, by the way, have you tried our new feature yet? Email, no announcement, just like, here's something for you, right? And to me, that is such a brilliant marketing and customer experience move. And I just wanted to rave about it because I just thought it was really delightful.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Probably not nearly as good, but I use Apple. I don't use Spotify. I use Apple Music, and it just popped up on my home screen. Here's your heavy rotation playlist.
Yeah, I have that too. Spotify has that, like all the stuff you play the most playlist.
Yeah,
but this was like based on
just your Sunday
because sometimes
morning.
my wife picks it, sometimes I pick it, sometimes we both picked it. But and it's my account, which is why it kind of came up in my account, but. It was sort of a mix of everything that we've been doing on Sunday mornings, and it was just lovely. Yeah,
Cat Stevens and like
Yeah, of
is that-
course.
yeah, yeah. And like
Cat Stevens.
what's your other two? Like what like I'm trying to get a feel for this playlist.
Oh, this playlist would be like lots of 70s
Yeah.
rock, like lots of Allman Brothers. Cat Stevens is in there. I like chill music on Sunday morning. I don't
Marshall
like it to
Tucker
be
Band,
a little
maybe.
Marshall Tucker Band,
Yeah,
a little Grateful Dead,
yeah. I'm with you.
a
Okay.
little, you know,
I'm
and then
already feeling
yeah,
calm. I
yeah,
feel like,
yeah, yeah,
I feel good. I feel good about
yeah.
this. All
I mean,
right. So my rave, of course, I've talked about Macon and how great experience that was. I'm going to put this article that I wrote up on the screen, and it talks about this framework called the CRIT framework. And Jeff Woods, I don't know if you know Jeff, he's author of a book called The AI Driven Leader. He was one of the opening keynotes, and he talked about this CRIT framework. I'm not going to go through all the details, but I've been using it, Robert, and it helps because of this interview process we talked about before. So basically, when you're going to get any kind of anything strategic out of your, if it's ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, you use CRIT framework. First of all, you go through use context. So basically, talk it through. Like I just started using Whisper, open up whatever microphone you want to and just talk and go and say, here's the situation. And the more, the better. And so you can just talk it out, go give them a couple minutes of where you're at. And then you go through and you say, okay, well, here's the role. So tell them, and you do all this at one time. Don't hit enter. So you do,
sure.
okay,
Yeah.
context, role. Who do you want the AI to be? Are they the leading brand marketing expert in the world? Are they a content creator from Florida? What are they? So tell them what their role is. And then the third one is the interview part. This is really, really important. And basically you can copy this and use it anywhere. It says, ask me no more than 3 questions, one at a time, to clarify what I'm trying to achieve. That's been the breakthrough for me, because it seems to be much better than here's 3 questions or whatever, because it gets better after every response that I give to the one question, and then the task. So you're very specific. And I love this idea where you say, okay, I wrote this as an example in the article. Based on our conversation, give me 3 non-obvious actions I can take to strengthen my content business strategy, make them surprising but realistic. That's just the one that I used in mine. And I've been using this for the past week, and it's been very, very helpful to me. So thanks to Jeff for, I think that everything that I'm getting out of AI because of this interview process makes the difference. And to your point before, you have to understand the questions. You have to understand the questions and the answers. And if you do, I can see how an expert marketer or creator can get a lot more out of the system. But I love this. It's really helping me with, thinking about my strategy documents and the things I'm working on. So
it's so funny because I love this. I think it's a fantastic idea. I use something kind of similar. So I built a custom GPT for my, for getting to, like, if I'm writing a white paper or if I need to write a blog post or an article or something like that. And the way I set it up was as an 8-step process. And so the custom GPT walks through the 8-step process every time I do it. And it starts with something, right? So I find a book that I've read, or an article that I've read, or a conversation that I've had, and I put it in. That's the first step. Number 1 is I put in the article. And then it basically knows then, once I put in that article, the second step is to say, what do you agree with? What do you not agree with? What is your, basically, what do you think? Right. So it asks me, like, what do I think about this? And so I go, well, here's what I think about it. So this is the context part of what you just put in. So I say, well, I agree with this and I don't agree with that, but I think this is interesting and I think that is interesting. And, I give it a lot, right? I sort of vomit up what I think about this.
Do you type it up or do you talk?
I type it up because I can't do the talking thing yet.
That's been such a game changer for me.
Yeah. I think in typing. So it's just easier for me to just type it up. I may try the talking to it, but anyway, so then after that it goes great. Then step 3 is to say, ask me clarifying questions around it. Like, okay, clarify anything about my context that it needs clarifying questions around. And then step 4 is it asks me up to 5 questions about, like, with all that context and the article, like, what do I think about this? Or, do you think
Does
this
it
is
do
a
them
trend?
one at a
Or,
time, or does it do it all together?
it does all 5 of them at once, basically, because I can do that. I may switch it now, because now that's a really interesting idea.
That's because the second question is different based on your response.
Yeah. Based on your responses. It's a really good idea, actually. And then step 4 is to say, great, this is what I think you're saying. It sort of summarizes and gives me sort of a thesis, if you will, of my thinking. And then it says, would you like me to create an outline? And it basically, I say, yeah, create me an outline. So it creates me an outline of whatever it is I want to create. And that I take that, and then I use that as sort of my
that's
jumping
great
off point to write. Yeah, it's
really
it's been a game changer for me, for sure.
So I'll put this. I'll put this in the show notes, and I do recommend. Thanks to Pamela Muldoon. We were talking, and I was talking to her about how I use AI, and she's like, "Do you use Whisper?" And I said, "I don't use, like, what's Whisper?" I had no idea, but apparently everybody at our little table used Whisper except for me. I didn't even know about it, of course.
What is Whisper?
Whisper is the dictation tool that they use, and what it does is when you talk it through, and you could just talk stream of consciousness, it actually organizes it for you as you talk. You don't have to do anything. And then you hit enter, and it'll take out all the it'll take, like, you can go, if you go back and forth, it doesn't matter, it will make sense out of it, and it is 100% perfect every time. I've checked it. It's amazing the way that it works.
I'll check it out.
And I have it now. I have it on my phone. Talk about giving Big Brother all your information. Now I've got it on my phone, so I use it for talk to text, because you can integrate it into your phone, and then I use it with ChatGPT. So, and I was like you, like, I literally I'm typing and whatever, but I figure now that I don't have to worry about making mistakes or thinking. I can just talk. These long paragraphs, I let it go, and it fixes itself in real time.
Nice. I like it.
So
I like it a lot. I'll try it out. Yeah, for sure.
I'll put the Whisper link in the show notes. I think the link that I have gives everyone a free month.
Oh, but we're not. It's not affiliate marketing. It's
not affiliate marketing.
We're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored.
Yeah.
No, nothing like that. We're just
sharing because we care.
Just good people.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's right.
All right. What do you got?
I got the game this weekend. I have a very quiet weekend planned, so I'm looking forward to that. And very happily busy with client work. So quiet, very happy, busy, very happy camper with client work. And so, yeah, quiet weekend ahead. Go Cowboys. We'll see what happens there with the Denver Broncos and all of that. How about you?
Spent some time with friends this weekend. We're going to see the John Mulaney
nice
thing this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's
He's
great.
funny.
We've seen him before.
We've
seen him before in person. We saw his I think it's Baby Jane.
Yeah.
Baby Jane one that
where he talked about his addiction and all that stuff.
Yeah, whole thing. So this is a new one. We're going with the whole family. Really looking forward to that. So
that's brilliant. Fun. That's brilliant.
So, and a Browns victory. It could happen.
There it is.
Could be 3-5.
Who they play this week?
The New England Patriots.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. Yeah, they are good this year.
But New England's due for a bad game.
They are.
Right. So who knows? So,
all right.
Anyways.
All right. Well, thank you, folks. Thank you for hanging out. We really appreciate you as always. Hope you're loving all the ridiculousness here. And we will see you again next week with a regular show. And just till we see you again next week, just remember, it's your story to tell. Tell it well. We'll see you next week on This Old Marketing. Hey, thanks a lot for making it this far in this week's episode, and thank you all for being a part of This Old Marketing. You can check out all the show notes of what we talked about today at thisoldmarketing.com, and it's also where you can leave us a review or a voicemail. We need those reviews and comments on whichever platform you follow us on. And if you haven't followed the podcast, please go do that and make sure you catch the latest and greatest episodes every Friday morning. We're on Apple and Spotify and all your other favorite podcatchers, of course, but we'd love it if you went over and subscribed to us on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. youtube.com/@thisoldmarketing. We'll see you again next week, folks, with another episode of This Old Marketing.